All right, and we're back to talk about these word problems. So yet again, Chelsea, we're here for your Math 6 tutorial, and we are talking about area and perimeter. So we talked all in that first video about all the different ways they might try and get you with those triangles, squares, and rectangles. Now we have our word problems here. So these are word problems that your mom sent me, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change my numbers now. I pick 10 and I pick, no, I don't pick 10. I pick 11 and I pick, I don't know, 7. All right. So I changed my numbers now. Okay. So that way you can see how I'm going to do this. And then you get the concept there so you can plug in your own numbers for your next one. So when you're doing a word problem, Chelsea, anytime you're doing a word problem, especially in math, one of the best things to do is, when possible, is to draw a picture. Okay. So it says that Kenya made lasagna in a pan measuring 11 inches by 7 inches. What is the area of the lasagna? Okay. So we know that the formula for area for a rectangle is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, or that side 1 times side 2, length times width. Or excuse me, I'm talking about area. I'm sorry. Area is length times width. This is perimeter. Catch me, girl. I hope you yelled at me. All right, area is length times width there. So here, when we broke it down, it's, side 1 times side 2. But they separate that and show you the difference because a rectangle does not have equal sides here like the square does. So let's get back to there. So here's a lasagna. We know it's a rectangle because it says that it is 11 inches by 7 inches. So we can label our picture, okay? You're going to label your picture. I'm going to put the 11 here because this side is longer when I drew it. And then I'm going to put my 7 right over here because it was shorter. Okay. You know what? I'm going to put my inches here too so I don't forget those, because I definitely don't want to forget that. They gave it to me. And when I'm doing area, if I don't have my inches there, I'm going to be wrong. So my lasagna was in a pan 11 inches by 7 inches. What is the area of the lasagna? So all you're going to do is plug in your formula. So your formula for your rectangle is going to be length times width. I'm just going to copy this one only because it's different than what that other one is. The other one up there is a screenshot, so it's not going to let me type in there. All right, so right here, I'm going to type in for rectangle, area equals length times width. Okay. All right, and then you can leave it like that. You can just say LW. You can separate it by doing your time symbol of just a dot, or, on the computer it's going to look like a star, but you can do dot. You can do your multiplication sign of an X. I don't really like to do that because we use X sometimes so often in math that that's why they offer you these other options to do multiplication, the dot, the star, or putting things in parentheses. You know that when things are in parentheses, you're going to multiply them. Okay. So however you want to write your formula is on you, but write it down. Okay. And then when you plug it in, you're going to carry it down like we said and plug in the first thing you know. So my length, I'm saying, all right, my length is 11. And I'm going to keep that W. And I'm going to carry it down. Next, I can plug in my W. I find my width of 7. Here's 7. And I'm going to carry it down. Do I have anything else to fill in? Absolutely not. So I can solve now and find out what my area is. My area is going to equal 11 times 7. 77. What's my big thing? You have to put your unit of measurement, right? Inches squared. You don't have your squared. You don't have your cute tiny 2. Answer is incorrect. Okay? But the area would be 77 inches squared. Okay, that's a really big lasagna, it feels like. I don't know if I don't know. I'm going to have to measure my next lasagna and see if it's that big. But see how it ended up actually being a little bit simpler than we thought, because we just drew a picture and then it's almost like the words went away. I mean, we checked and made sure that we're answering the correct question because we wanted to know the area. Okay, we checked that in our problem. And then we drew our picture and we put things where they were supposed to be. And it doesn't feel as quite as confusing as just trying to picture it in your mind. Now it kind of seems almost like we just had, you know, a problem like this and it asked us what the area was. It seems a little bit simpler than, you know, seeing all those words there like that, but that's the benefit of drawing a picture. So here on the side over here, we've got find the area and the perimeter of the triangle below. Now, I do not know if that is the triangle that was sent to me from your problem. Well, oh well. If it is, then I might even have you send me another problem with different numbers in it, because I really can't remember if this is the exact problem your mom sent me. But find the area and perimeter of the triangle below. It's going to be super easy because number one, your perimeter is simply just adding all your sides together. So let's go ahead and do that first because that's just so easy, right? So perimeter, here it is, equals A plus B plus C. Let's get it. Perimeter equals A plus B plus C. Now this, it's not labeled necessarily on this one, but you can label it yourself. You can pick it, you can make it whatever you want. You can say this is A, B, and C. You can say this is however you want to do it. Now this triangle, ignore this triangle here, by the way. I'm going to put him like up here. Ignore him because there's a reason for him, but I'll tell you in a little bit. Okay, so just ignore that triangle. Maybe I can just make him really small. Yeah, ignore him. There's a reason I'm going to show you him. But anyways, so A plus B plus C. So let's find, so A. Now, in this circumstance, no, we're going to carry it down. Because you know what? I also see another number in there that I'm not going to be using and I don't want to mix up. I really don't. So I'm going to label my parts on my triangle first before I do anything. Because this extra number might confuse me and it might just get me doing something crazy. So I'm going to say that this is A. Okay. And I'm going to say that this side is B. And I'm going to say that this side is C. Here we go. Okay. I'm not going to rush myself. I'm not going to do it. All right. Now I'm going to fill them in. A. Do I have A? 6. All right. And I'm going to carry it down so that I don't mix myself up. All right. Do I have B? Yes. 8. Okay. And I'm going to carry it down. And do I have C? Yes. 6. So I'm going to fill that in. Do I have anything else in my formula to fill out? No. So I am good to go to be able to solve these now. Why won't it let me grab all those? Come here. I want you, and I want you, and you, and you, so that you will all move. Thank you. All right, so perimeter equals, let's add them together in our calculator. It's nice they give you a calculator so you don't have to do it by hand, because it's easy to make a math goof. It's so easy. All right, so 6 plus 8 plus 6 equals 20. So the perimeter of this triangle equals 20. I'm going to check and see if they gave me a unit of measurement, which they did, inches. 20 inches. Now with perimeter, because all we did was just, you know, go around the outside like as if we had a bendable ruler and just walked it around the outside of that triangle. We're just measuring the length of it, the length of the outside. We don't need that squared. We don't need that super tiny tube because we're not measuring anything inside of it. Okay, we're not finding the square footage. We're just looking at the outside of this triangle. So 20 inches is the perimeter of that triangle. Now, it also asks for the area. which is the reason for this tiny triangle that I tried to hide. And I'm going to put him over here. Let's see if I can, you know what, let's just get rid of you. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. Let's put you over here and let's move you over here. So what I wanted to show you with that triangle, and let me grab my formula really quick. I'm going to grab all of this and I'm just going to fill it in as we go. Put it, whoa, smaller. We don't need you that big. Come on now. All right. So what I wanted to show you, and I'm going to make you this super tiny for like 2 seconds, so ignore those. Our original triangle looks like this, okay? So we have to go by our formula of 1/2 times base times height, okay? And it's kind of hard to see with this triangle, and that's where it might get and feel confusing. Because if you look at this triangle, it's showing you the height this way, right? Okay, it's showing you the height is 7. You know that the height is 7 because usually it's within that dotted line, you know, showing you straight up, you know, that that's your height. So what do you think your base is? Here, 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 here. I go ahead and I'm going to turn my head or write my triangle and flip it around, which is why I put this triangle here and turned him. So that way we could see a lot clearer what things were labeled as. Okay, so we have 1/2 times base times height, 1/2 times base, and I know you're telling me there's properties, Miss Sarah. I know that, you know, it doesn't matter what order, but I still like to see it in that way and be able to put things so that way we don't get confused when we get into higher level things, or if they gave you a word problem that you don't end up labeling something wrong, you know. Anyway, so base times height. Where's my height? My height is right here on this dotted line. My 7. He's flipped around upside down there, but right here. My 7 right here. So let's put in our 7. Okay. Oh, no. Let's leave that H there. We carried him down. Let's put our 8 here. Let's get our 7 there. Okay, see how we kept carrying down? We wrote down our formula, filled in the first thing we knew. Carried that H. Kept our formula going, filled in the next thing we knew. Now, is there anything left to fill in? There's not. So that means that we can solve this problem. So we're going to do it like this. We said that we know that 1/2 equals 0.5. So we're just going to go ahead and put that in the calculator like that. So 0.5, okay, times 8 times 7 equals 28. 28 inches squared. Now, big things there, don't forget. I put that inches squared on there. I checked for my unit, it was inches. And because I was doing area this time, I made sure that I put that squared on there, or my answer would be wrong. Okay, so that's how we did that one. All right, so perimeter and area. Okay, here we drew a picture. This one, they already gave us a picture, and then we either turned our head to look at it, or we, you know, turned our paper, redrew the triangle, and turned your paper so you can see it really clearly. Whatever way is going to work for you, but rewriting things and really studying it and looking at it from different perspectives is going to be the best way for you to do it. Okay, so don't try to just plug things in your mind. All right, let's see here. Let's try and pick a one that looked a little bit more difficult. If you notice on these ones when I started them, Chelsea, you see how I had already plugged in a little bit of a picture there just to kind of like make it a little bit easier for us. I'm always going to draw a picture when possible with a math word problem. And it doesn't matter if it's just perimeter or area. I'm talking even if it's something, you know, silly, like so-and-so has how many marbles, and then a friend came by and, you know, took 5 of them. You know, I would draw a picture. It would help me, you know, instead of just a number sentence, because sometimes picturing it can help you more than just writing out a formula or just writing out a number sentence. Okay, having both is going to help you. Let's see. I'm going to pick, what time are we looking at here? 15 minutes? I think this one is definitely, you could do that one easily. Okay, so we've got, it's going to tell you right here, what's the area of your soccer field. Already, it tells you it's a rectangle. So you can draw a rectangle. You're good to go. All right, so you would just fill in what you know, like we did here. Okay, you'd fill in your length and you'd fill in your width. Okay. Oops. Okay, and what did it tell us? 300 feet long by 300 feet wide. All right, let's plug it in. Let's just plug them in there so we can see. 300 feet long by what was it? 175. And we are at feet wide. Okay. All right, we've labeled it there. Okay. The rectangular field at Wilson Middle School is 300 feet long and 175 feet wide. In gym class, students warm up by jogging along the edges of the fields. What is the total number of feet they jog? We should talk about this one. You know why? Because in this word problem, okay, you've labeled your parts and you've drawn your picture, which is great. But now we have to decide, what are we looking for? Because it doesn't straight up ask us. This one did. What's the area of the lasagna? This question just asks us, what's the total number of feet they jog? So am I supposed to use perimeter or am I supposed to use area? You have to think about it logically and think about the difference between perimeter and area. We said perimeter is the outside of your shape. Okay? So think about your field at school, all right? And area is the whole shaded inside area of your shape. If you were jogging in gym class, Chelsea, would you be jogging up and down, up and down, up and down, all over this rectangle and trying to fill in the entire field? No. You would go all the way around on the track and not trying to jog anything extra than what your teacher asked you to, right? And that's why it says along the edges of the field. Okay, that means that we are looking for perimeter. Okay? So with a rectangle, that's when you have to know the properties of those quadrilaterals like that. A rectangle. We know that the opposite sides of a rectangle are equal and parallel, which means across from each other they're equal. Across from each other they're equal. So in our picture, grab all these so I can move them. In our picture, that means that this side here is going to be the same up there, across from each other. This side here is going to be the same over here. There's my rectangle. Okay? And there's no other sides to label. We're looking for perimeter, so all we're going to do is add all of the sides together. And you, and you, and you, and you. Oh, I forgot to copy. Get you, and you, if you don't get on there, and you, and you, and you, and you. Come over here. Did I copy it, Chelsea? I didn't. I did it again. Chelsea, tell me to copy it. Copy it, Miss Sarah. And there we go. There it is. All right, so our perimeter. So for perimeter of a rectangle, where's our formula? We have it here. This 2 times L plus 2 times W, 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, or side 1 times side 2. Excuse me, we're doing perimeter. Or side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3 plus side 4. Whichever one is easier for you. In my opinion, I'm just going to add all the sides together like this because it might get confusing with that 2L, 2W type thing, you know? Can get a little confusing. Go away. Ah. And go away. And go away. And you come back down here. Now, you fill in what you know. Okay? So you can label your own sides. Okay? So you can take your pencil and you can say whatever side you want to be what. This could be A, B, C, and D. It doesn't matter because you are just adding all of the sides together. Right, Chelsea? Yes. So let's just fill them all in this time. We're not going to be crazy people and keep on dragging it down. Let's just fill them all in. So we did A. Now let's do the next one. Now let's do the next one. Now let's do the next one. Okay, we went all the way around. Okay. So A plus B plus C plus D. Yes. And we will plug that in our calculator and let's see. We do know we're going to be in feet, so let's change that. 175 plus 300 plus 175 plus 300 equals 950. 950 feet. All right. So the total number of feet they jog is 950 feet. Now, just to double check ourselves and make sure and see, if we used our formula the way that it's set up when we look at it like this, with our formula sheet that's offered to us to use on the SOLs, or a formula that might be offered to you on the side of your screen for virtual learning, if we did that 2L plus 2W, 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. What they're saying there is, let's plug it in. You keep that 2 because you don't change anything in a formula. You just plug in what you know. Let's find our length. 300. All right. And we're going to carry it down. Okay. Now, I have a 2 here. I'm not going to change it because it's part of my formula. But this W, can I find it? I can, right here. 175. I'm going to plug in what I know. This formula looks like this because they're trying to show you, an easier way so that you can see it, that, you have 2 of these 300s. 300 times 2. 600 equals the same thing as 300 plus 300, doesn't it? It does. So I guess it shortens it. Okay. So 600. Let's go ahead and bring that down there. 600. All right. Now let's see over here. This 2 times 175. 2 times 175 equals 350. Or if we said 175 plus 175 equals 350. Okay. And we're going to add that together and see what it equals. 600 plus 350. And let's see if we end up with the same. We surely do. 950 feet. Perimeter equals. Now, when you have your answer, if you were doing it on a worksheet, you could say to your teacher, perimeter equals 950 feet. But oftentimes, you have to really look at your problem and how they want you to word your answer. Sometimes your teacher might say they want you to answer in a complete sentence. So while yes, the perimeter of the field is 950 feet, what they're actually asking us is what is the total number of feet they jog. So, let me check something. I've got something exporting. Nope. What they're actually asking us is what is the total number of feet they jog. So your answer would be the students jog 950 feet. That's really our answer, because that's really what the problem's asking us. Yes, we had to use the perimeter. And yes, that was how we found it. But the word problem asks us, they want to know what's the number of feet these kids are jogging. Not necessarily saying, tell me the perimeter of this rectangle of the field. They want to know how many feet the students jog. So be very careful how you word your answers, because sometimes people pay attention to that because they want to see how closely you're looking at a word problem. Okay? What am I looking at here time-wise? All right, we're looking at like 25 minutes. Do I have time? Okay, this one I'm just going to talk about really quick so that way I can end this video for you, and then we'll go from there. So it says, Akira planted a garden in the shape of a triangle. The lengths of the sides of the garden are 3 meters, 4 meters, and 5 meters. What is the distance around the garden? All right. So it tells you the first thing you're going to do is draw a picture. It tells you exactly what shape it is. That it's a triangle, a garden in the shape of a triangle, and that it has the sides. One side is 3 meters. Okay, we've got another side that is 4 meters. And we have another side that is 5 meters. So we'll label those sides. 5 meters. Okay, so we'd label all our sides. Okay, and then you would look at what the problem is asking you. What is the distance around the garden? Around the garden. Picture that, Chelsea. Around the garden. So what is it that they're looking for? They're looking for the perimeter. They don't want to know how much space is inside of the garden. They want to know the distance around the garden. So they're looking for that perimeter there. So you would just add up all those sides together. Okay. Now I do want to point out to you that I did notice that one of your objectives, and I probably X'd them out. I did. One of your objectives was being able to convert, what's it called? Convert units of measurement from U.S. standard into different metric units. There we go. Good gravy. Virginia Beach SOL. What did I type in? Not SOL. Mathematics 6, Virginia Beach Public Schools. Metric. Whoops. Whoa, go back. Make ballpark comparisons between measurements in the U.S. customary system of measurement and measurements in the metric system. Okay, the reason I'm pointing that out to you is, in your word problems, pay very, very close attention. I mean, this one you're safe because it was meters, meters, meters. But what if your problem said that it was a garden in the shape of a triangle, and the lengths of the sides were 3 meters, 25 feet, and 7 yards? Can you just add together those numbers? You would have to pick one of those units of measurement and make all of them the same units of measurement. So if you took your ruler and you looked at it and you said, okay, well, I know that, 5 inches is, and I really can't think off the top of my head, however many centimeters, you would have to make it all the same. It would have to all be meters, or it'd have to all be yards, or it'd have to all be inches. They all have to be the same, or all feet. They all have to be the same, or else you're not going to get the correct answer. So really pay attention to that as well in your word problems. Okay, so look for those units of measurement. Meters, we're good. It's the same. Meters, meters, and meters. We checked really closely to see what it was we're looking for, so we used the right formula. We're going to be doing perimeter, so we're going to add those sides together. So that's what we're looking for. That's the biggest thing about word problems, is really paying attention. Underline these things, how I'm highlighting them on the computer, underline them on your, on your paper. Write these problems down if you need to. This one here, this one's very simple. It tells you right here, it asks you straight out, what's the area? It wants to know the area of this soccer field. So you're good to go. You already know what formula you're gonna be using. You can draw your picture because this one told you right here that it's a rectangle. So you're just gonna use your formula and then plug it in as you go. This one says Josie is using a triangular piece of cloth to make a scarf. Okay, triangular. So we know we are using a triangle. So I would already immediately draw a triangle. Then it says it gives me what the base is. It gives me what the height is. And it says what is the area of the cloth. So we know what it's asking us. It wants to know the area, and we know it's a triangle. That's fairly simple. I'm going to find my formula for area of a triangle, plug it in as I go, and draw it on my picture. Okay? So one thing I want to point out to you is, I don't know if I did that when I was retyping this, or if the problem actually looked like that, but see how this one says centimeters and it's abbreviated, and this one has centimeters spelled out? I don't know if I did that, or if your problem may have been like that on purpose, maybe to try and, make you look at it in a different way. I'm not sure, but I'm really going to pay attention to those units and make sure that they're the same. Just like here, we've got yards, and we've got yards. They match. We're good. Okay, so I think you can maybe try and solve the rest of these on your own now that you kind of understand a little bit more of where things are going with these word problems and understanding these formulas, why they are the way that they are, and how to look at them. Biggest thing with word problems, Chelsea, draw a picture, write that formula, plug in what you know, okay? If you need to, you can check off things as you plug them in. Like, okay, I've taken care of this. Kenya made that lasagna. We took care of that. And then I drew out my, pan. Okay, and I got all that checked off. And now I'm at my questions. Very simple. Here, this one had a lot of information. Okay, so you got to see if you can, get all of that information in your picture and all that information into your formula. And make sure that you're answering exactly what they want to know. Alrighty, so I know you can do it.